Emotional maturity isn't about age, it's about growth. You might think, I still get annoyed when someone chews too loudly. Am I emotionally mature? Well, emotional maturity isn't about how old you are. It's about how you handle emotions, relationships, conflicts, and challenges. Some people grow up without growing wiser, while others develop emotional maturity without even realizing it. Today, we're talking about emotional maturity, that secret ingredient that makes life smoother, relationships stronger, and stress lower. Let's dive into 8 signs you're more emotionally mature than you realize, and see how many you can check off. Make sure to watch the video till the end. You'll discover which signs you already have and how much emotionally mature you really are. 1. You don't react, you respond. Picture this. Someone says something rude or frustrating. Do you snap back instantly or take a second to think before responding? One of the biggest signs of emotional maturity is learning to pause before reacting. Reacting is instant. It's driven by emotions. Responding is intentional and thoughtful. Mature people don't let their temporary feelings make permanent decisions. Instead, they assess the situation and decide if it even deserves their energy. Example: let's say someone cuts you off in traffic. Instead of honking, yelling, or letting it ruin your mood for the next hour, you just shrug it off and move on. That's emotional maturity. 2. You can admit when you're wrong. Ever had an argument where you knew you were wrong but still refused to admit it? We've all been there. But as you grow emotionally, you realize that admitting your mistakes doesn't make you weak. It makes you self-aware. Mature people can say, I misunderstood the situation. I was wrong, and I appreciate you pointing that out. I see your perspective now. Instead of getting defensive, they see mistakes as an opportunity to grow and improve. And here's the thing. People actually respect you more when you own up to your mistakes, instead of making excuses. 3. You don't take everything personally. Not everything is about you. If a friend cancels plans, it doesn't mean they don't like you. If someone is short with you, they might just be having a rough day. If a coworker disagrees with your idea, it's not an attack on your intelligence. Emotionally mature people understand that most people's actions are a reflection of their own struggles, not a personal attack. Instead of overthinking and assuming the worst, they let things go and focus on what actually matters. 4. You set boundaries. Without feeling guilty. Saying no is one of the hardest skills to master. If you've learned to say no to things that drain your energy, distance yourself from toxic people, protect your peace without feeling guilty, then you've leveled up in emotional maturity. Boundaries aren't about being rude, they're about self-respect. You understand that your time and mental health are valuable, and you're not afraid to protect them. 5. You control your emotions. Instead of letting them control you. We all experience emotions: anger, sadness, frustration. But the difference between emotional maturity and immaturity is how you handle them. Immature people lash out when they're angry, shut down when they're upset, let emotions dictate their decisions. Mature people recognize their emotions, process them without acting impulsively, respond in a way that won't cause regret later. Example: instead of sending an angry text when you're upset, you take a walk, cool down, and then communicate calmly. That's emotional intelligence in action. 6. You're open to feedback without getting defensive. Let's be honest, nobody likes criticism, but emotionally mature people don't see feedback as a personal attack. Instead of thinking, they're just trying to bring me down, they ask themselves, is there something I can improve here? Even if the feedback isn't delivered perfectly, they still look for the lesson in it. They separate their ego from the opportunity to grow. Example: if your boss says, your presentation could use more structure, instead of feeling offended, you think, okay, how can I make it better next time? This mindset makes you unstoppable. 7. You let go of grudges. Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Mature people understand that forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from negativity. They don't dwell on past hurt. They focus on what they can control. They choose peace over resentment. That doesn't mean they forget or let toxic people back in. It just means they don't let anger weigh them down. If you've learned to move forward without carrying emotional baggage, you've mastered something many people struggle with. 8. You're comfortable being alone. Can you sit in silence without feeling restless? Can you enjoy your own company without needing distractions? Emotionally mature people don't fear being alone because they feel secure in themselves, don't need constant validation from others, enjoy their own thoughts without overthinking. This doesn't mean they don't value relationships, it just means they don't rely on others for their happiness and self-worth. They are comfortable with themselves, whether they're with people or... So, how many of these signs do you recognize in yourself? Emotional maturity isn't about being perfect. It's about learning, growing, and handling life with more wisdom and less stress. Drop a comment below. Which sign do you struggle with the most? Let's talk about it. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. See you in the next one.